What's going on, everyone? So, I'm very intrigued with this upcoming 28 years later. Clearly, this appears, at least from the trailer, appears to be kind of centered around a father and son that are kind of, you know, trying to survive, taking on monsters, right? Zombies, that is, and also potentially dealing with people. The trailer that we got for 28 years later was clearly designed to kind of allude to, hey, yeah, monsters bad, zombies bad, but humans worse, right? Like, yes, you need to worry about the zombies and you need to worry about them, eating you and turning you and all that stuff because it was like a rage virus, right? Like, it was just an harness their rage. And it was kind of originally set up as like, oh, they're all just gonna die of starvation and stuff, and then that will be that, right? And we're going to find out what's changed, what's happened, how it's gone. But there were multiple scenes in there that clearly showed people that did not appear to be good and that appeared to likely be worse than the zombies, right? And that's kind of I think that that's a cool idea, right? Like, because you have like this post apocalyptic, it's been 28 years since the outbreak, right? So you have this post apocalyptic outbreak that just the world is basically been sent back to the Stone Age, right? And all of the survivors, all the people that haven't been turned, all the people that are out there, you know, what have they become? Right? They become these like savages. They become these different factions, and there's different groups and different leaders and stuff. Like, kind of play into The Walking Dead at times, or you've had certain zombie films, right, where the human is worse than the zombie, right? They'll the zombies are kind of in many ways misunderstood, right? They've been turned this way, right? They didn't choose to be this way, right? And instead of humanity kind of coming together to be for the common good, okay, well, we're just gonna tear apart each other and fight for power and kind of get back to Roman days and stuff, right? We're gonna go. We find you, we'll pillage you, we'll take your supplies, do all that stuff, feed you to the zombies if we have to, and that's something that you continue to see. I really dig the vibe and idea of like this Mad Max meets 28-year later zombies, right? So you have these zombies that were turned and changed by rage. And yeah, they're probably still out there. People are still dying. People are still reproducing. And again, it's been 28 years. There's probably people that have had babies and they've grown up, and and there's been some version of repopulation and stuff. And you have all these different. I like the idea of all these different factions and all these different groups, and everybody kind of just at odds with each other. And like certain food is this like sacred resource now, right? Like, because you saw like even Jim, who Killian Murphy's character, right? He looked like he was a zombie himself, right? He's rail thin. Is he a zombie, or is he dying of starvation? Right? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe food is just a really slim resource, right? And you have these maybe the zombies have been eating the animals and the crops and stuff, right? Maybe all the humans went into hiding and stuff, and they weren't able to find any more humans. Did they adapt? Did they evolve? Were they able to change? Were they able to kind of figure out how to, okay, well, we can't, there's no more people around to eat, but there's this cow over here, and maybe they just wiped out all the food supply, all the food source. And so, anybody has, clean water, or, any type of food supplies or anything, like, that's the new currency. That's the new gold, right? Like, instead of trading, dollar bills, it's, hey, I'll trade you 2 eggs for this, right? For your shoes, right? Like, I think that there is a very fun, fascinating, and potentially unique kind of method here, and kind of creative way that they can kind of go about and approach this upcoming 28 years later film, right? Like I said, I like the idea of like this Mad Max meets zombie type of world. And you have, yes, the zombies are bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, you want to avoid those zombies over there. You don't want to go anywhere near or approach those zombies. However, see those people over there? People are far worse. Those people, yeah, they're gonna eat you too. They're gonna, kind of like what was it? Book of Eli, right? Like, where people resorted to eating each other, right? And it's like, and they got the shakes and stuff, right? Like, something like that, I think could be very fun, very curious, right? Like, I think could make for kind of a unique, because, I mean, 28 Days Later was a very unique zombie film, right? It was very different than your, at the time, the run of the mill, right? The same old type of zombie, right? Like, I thought that they did a really good job. And even in the original, people were bad, right? Like, yeah, there were people that were helpful. There were people that, but there were also bad people. I mean, like the military people, and think of all the things that they were getting ready to do and wanted to do, and how Jim had to, like, basically unleash the zombies on them because they were getting ready to do some bad stuff I can't talk about on YouTube, right? Like, so there's always been this sort of element. There's always been this sort of, like, again, people bad, zombies bad, but yeah, people are a lot worse. And like I mentioned, you got several scenes in that trailer that really alluded to that. From even like the bone statue, right? So either the zombies learned how to build structures and, build bone towers for whatever reason, or humans built that. And humans built those pillars and tied those things together. And humans are, the ones that are doing a lot of the stuff you see in the trailer, right? Like, so it's either zombies that have kind of became, what was it, Land of the Dead, right? That George A. Romero zombie film where they, started to figure out and add a level of intelligence and realize that they could, like, swim and stuff, right? Like that, like, either we're going that direction and that's the route we're taking, or it is this, like, humans are just bad, right? And, look, that whole monster misunderstood, humans bad, is not a super unique element, period. And a lot of, like, zombie movies have been, like, post-apocalyptic type thing. Like, even the Land of the Dead that I talked about, right? Like, you had different things, or like Resident Evil and stuff like that. So it's not like, oh my God, we've never seen anything like this before, right? Like, no way, this type of thing has never existed before. Nothing like that. But it is something where, I do think that they have an opportunity to kind of add this new twist and spin. Because, I mean, even the zombies in 28 Days Later weren't your typical run-of-the-mill zombies, right? They weren't like the undead that, no, it was people that got infected with the rage, and it was just that emotion that just became so overwhelming that they essentially had this bloodlust, right? And they would kill and eat and tear apart and be very zombie-esque. But they weren't your typical, again, run-of-the-mill zombies. So, 28 Days Later has always kind of broken the mold. Even, 28 weeks later, now you fast forward to 28 years later, and, again, even like that, there was the scene in the trailer where they're by the tree, and, you have what looks to be zombies, right? You got people kind of in like stances like it's zombies, but you also have people in stances like, like they're posing, right? Like, so it's like, okay, is it zombies that are running after you? Is it zombies that are looking and getting ready to kill you? Or is it people? Is it a combination, right? Or like zombies and humans working together, right? What if there's this level of, like, animalistic intelligence where they're not like human type, but like just how like humans can train dogs or, other pets? What if zombies kind of became that? And, humans learn, like, oh wait, I can train this zombie to kind of essentially be my attack dog, right? I can train this zombie to essentially assist me in, looting and, going after people and stuff, right? Like, again, there's some new kind of territory that you can explore and get into. And, imagine having like a zombie on a leash that you just take for walks and sick on people, and you need supplies or something like that, right? But just in general, like I'm excited to see how kind of just this franchise goes full circle. I'm excited to see kind of how this plays off. Is this going to be the end? Are there going to be more films? Are we going to do, is this like the beginning of a trilogy? How much is Cillian Murphy really going to be in it? Because they originally kind of advertised this as like, Cillian Murphy returns. He's back as Jim. This is going to be great. Like, strap in. You're going to love it. And then from the teaser trailer, it's like, oh, he hardly going to be in this film, if at all. Like, it's just the big difference. So it's like, is this something that we need to kind of expect? Or should we expect that, hey, he's not going to really be in this film very much? But as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of kind of like this Mad Max beats zombies, or do you think, nah, like, stay away from it. Keep it just strictly zombies. Don't try to get all creative and too carried away. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.